there, welcome to the Inspiration and Laughter series. I'm Kim, and if you sometimes have trouble feeling joyful, then you're watching the right video. We'll be looking at 3 things that could be getting in the way of enjoying your life, and then if you stick around to the end, you get to enjoy some of this. Say yes to enjoying your life by subscribing to this channel and look for the bell icon so you don't miss out on videos filled with inspiration and laughter. Now it's inspiration time. One day, one of my coaching clients didn't know how to get herself out of a big, unhappy funk. She yearned to feel more joyful, and she felt she should be able to get herself into a more upbeat, positive mindset, given all of the healing work she'd done over the years and given her high level of self-awareness. Now, for other people, she had all the compassion and kindness in the world, but for herself, she was kind of beating herself up a little bit that she wasn't able to get herself into that upbeat, joyful feeling that she wanted to live her life from. So in just a little bit, I'll tell you about how I coached her and helped her to shift out of that beat up into something more enjoyable. But first, I want to ask you this question. When you're feeling really crappy, what do you usually do? Think about that for just a moment. So when you're in a bad mood or really stressed out or fatigued, low energy, what do you do to soothe yourself or to try to make yourself feel better? What pops into your head? Now, what a lot of people do, and I've certainly done it myself enough times, is some form of what I would call self-medicating. So you do something like eat a pint of ice cream or a bag of chips, or stay up into the late hours of the night binging Netflix or scrolling social media. It's basically things that kind of numb you out and distract you, but maybe don't make you feel better in the long run. They don't enhance your well-being in the long run. So does that sound like you at all? I don't know, I've done it. I did it this past week. I had a sugar binge this past week. Even though I know better, it still happens. And I'm not saying you never get to do that. I'm just looking at what's going to truly help you to feel better. And here's the thing. If you're not experiencing enough joy in your life and you yearn to, then maybe you need to take a new approach to help yourself. And before you know what that new approach is, it can be helpful to clarify what might be getting in your way. So we're going to be looking at 3 things in this video that could be getting in your way. And as you listen, just sit with it and listen and notice, does that feel true for me? Because it may or may not be true for you, but just be open and listen. That's all you need to do. So here we go. 3 possible things that could be getting in the way of your joyful life. Number 1, you might be trying to make too big of an emotional leap at once and then beating yourself up or judging yourself for not being able to experience the joy. Now, we all go through times where we feel angry or worried or sad or frustrated, and that's part of being human. And when you're in that space, expecting yourself to feel joyful is just too big a stretch. Like with the client I mentioned earlier, she was wanting to feel more joyful and couldn't get herself there, so she was beating herself up for not being able to uplift her feelings. So on top of the unhappiness she was already feeling, she was adding harsh judgment, adding more pain on top of the pain that was already there. So in that instance, I suggested that instead of focusing on feeling upbeat joy, that instead she aim for something that's more in the lines of feeling comfort or self-soothing. Like, what could she do to comfort herself and soothe herself in that moment? And then also toss in some compassion as well, compassion for herself. And so by doing that, that really helped her because it shifted her out of the beat up and shifted her into doing something that felt comforting and soothing, and therefore that leans her more in the direction of joy, doing something that feels more enjoyable. So in that instance, I would invite you to ask yourself, What would feel comforting or soothing to me right now? That's a great question you can ask. Number 2 is you may be needing more support than you're allowing yourself to receive. So if you truly can't experience joy at all, then there may be something going on with your health, and consulting a doctor or a therapist may be what's really needed. Or you might reach out for support to someone you trust, like a clergy member or a close friend, or if there's a specific difficult situation that you're dealing with, maybe there's a support group for people who are dealing with similar circumstances that could be supportive. The key is to find a form of support that feels good and works for you. And reaching out for support or looking for support may not feel comfortable, but if what you're doing isn't working, then it's time for a new approach. And if you give yourself that little bit of courage, right, to do something a little bit different, you're going to be pointing yourself in a newer, more positive direction. And number 3 is very, very common. You've forgotten what really brings you joy. And the reason this is so common is we get busy. There's so many different things to deal with in life and situations to handle, and joy just keeps getting pushed to the side over and over and over again. And you've just forgotten. And if somebody asks you, what would bring you joy right now? You might go, I don't know. And you don't know because you've forgotten, you've lost touch with it. If you don't really know, then you can't make it happen. So the new approach with this one is to decide to rediscover, or maybe discover for the first time, what authentically, truly feels joyful for you and how you can get yourself there. To go on a discovery process and to decide to do that. To say to yourself, I've decided to feel more joyful. Because a decision is much more powerful than wishful thinking about it. And if you really yearn to experience more joy and enjoyment in your life, then it's really an easy decision to make. Once you've made that decision, once you've said, I've decided to find more joy, then you can begin to look at how do you go about doing that. And I have 2 resources that can help you with that. The first one is free. It's a downloadable worksheet that is filled with powerful questions to help you with the discovery process, rediscovering and discovering what joy feels like and looks like for you. And it's free. I'll leave the link below so you can just go and download it and spend some time with those questions. And the second resource is a little mini course, mini program called the Joyful Self Jumpstart, which is taking it a step further from the discovery. You start with the questions, you start with the discovery journey, and then you look at how do I embody joy? And this little mini program helps you to put it into your body, put it into your spirit, make it a part of who you are as a joyful being in the world. And so I will leave that link below for you as well. If you sign up to receive the free questions, if you hang around and wait for the thank you page to pop up, it'll also give you a place where you can check out the Joyful Self Jumpstart as well. You can just click a link there and it'll take you to that program as well. So you could do both if you like. So think about that and think about those 3 things that might be getting in your way and look at what's the new approach? What's the new thing I'm going to do for myself right now? Since this series is called Inspiration and Laughter, it's laughter time. Laugh with me and give yourself a happy boost. Just mimic the sound of my laughter and know that your body can't tell the difference between a fake laugh and the real thing. They both lift you up. So give yourself permission to experiment and see how you feel. Here we go. Now before we get to laughing, we do just a little bit of warm-up, starting with some deep breathing. So I like to close my eyes for it. You can keep your eyes open, your eyes closed. We're just going to take a nice, slow, deep breath in. Really slow it down as you inhale. And a nice, slow exhale. And just do that a couple more times. Inhaling fully, filling up those lungs. And exhaling, letting go of tension. One more time, nice deep inhale. And exhale. Good. Now I'm going to open my eyes. You can open your eyes too if you closed them. We're just going to shrug the shoulders a few times. This is a place that people tend to hold a lot of tension. This is a really simple thing you can do to help get that tension out of your shoulders. Just shrug them up and down. Good. And now just shake your body out a little bit. Shake your arms, your head, your shoulders. Good. Okay. So the laughter we're going to do today, all you have to do is mimic me. We're going to do a laugh to the sound hey. So I'll demonstrate it first, and then you can do it with me, okay? So it's going to sound something like this. Hey. Okay? So you can do it with me if you like. That's the way you'll get the most out of it. Or you can just watch me and the silliness of what I'm doing and crack up whatever way you'd like to laugh. But let's try it together. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to do the hey laugh, okay? Inhale deep. Here we go. Okay, inhale again. Exhale, good, good. Just notice how you feel. Just notice the positive feeling, the upbeat feeling. It might be just a little bit, might be a lot. Just laughing gives you that. Even though we were doing a fake laugh, you were mimicking my laugh, it still lifts you up either way. So that's our laughter portion for the day, and I welcome you to check out other videos on this channel. Say hi in the comments, and I wish you a wonderful, joyful week.